Crafty Babes, Andrea here. I am going to share with you a layout that I'm doing in my Weekend in the Woods notebook. This is a notebook from Persnickety Prints, and they actually make custom notebooks, and this notebook was part of our swag bag at Maiden Mojave's, well, the Creatives Club. She runs the Creatives Club, and that is a community and retreat based community where she does retreats and scrapbooking, crafty getaways. And this was super fun. We did this one in South Lake Tahoe, and I decided to use the custom journal that she gave us in our swag to actually do my scrapbooking in, my memory keeping in for this weekend. So here I am doing a layout on the s'mores night that they do on the weekends. Every night I don't know if they do it during the week. I'm not sure. But anyway, on this night, we had a really fun time out by the fire. They give you all the things that you need for s'mores, and you have these big long sticks, and you can sit in these really comfortable chairs, and you have fun little Mexican blankets because it's cold, because it was in September. And I just wanted to document because it was a really fun night. We had so many laughs by the fire, and it was super fun. And also, the photos that I have here are actually quite neutral. So I've got a couple black and whites, and then the others that are in color have a pretty neutral tone to them. So they've got the brown, and so I'm going to use brown as the neutral color of my supplies, but I'm gonna use pink because I just got this new Distress Oxide color. I think it's called Worn Lipstick. Yeah, it's beautiful. And I had just picked up some brown ribbon and pink washi tape, and so I just pulled a bunch of brown and pink stuff together, and I'm gonna try to make this work. So my goal here is shockingly a grid layout, because when I have a lot of photos to fit in a small space, the grid really helps with like making everything feel like it belongs, and instead of just kind of throwing pictures around or trying to cluster them in some way, or I like the look of a grid layout, and so I'm going to work on that. That's what we're going to work on today. But I am definitely using the while you were out piece because it was a vacation, and I just feel like it's a good little piece to use for like when you're on vacation. So I am working on that. I'm trying to put this brown wooden color at the bottom here, and it's not working. It's not working, so I'm trying, but I feel like it's just gonna bug me. So we're gonna move on to something else. And I really want to use this bag, and I don't have room. Just don't have room for everything. So this is me kind of trying to figure out where I'm going to put all the pictures and where I'm going to use the bag and how I'm going to use the bag to make a focal point, and the fact that I want to use embellishments and I need to make sure that I have enough room for the embellishments. And I am definitely going to do something fun with this little matchbox from the hotel. So we're going to see how that goes. If you've seen my Instagram feed, or actually, yeah, did I put it on my feed? Yeah, I did. I gave a little sneak. So some of you who follow me on Instagram might already know what I've done with that matchbox. But for those who are seeing this for the first time, it's going to be a surprise. So I've decided I have to make this bag appear smaller. There's just no way I can use it at its full size. So I'm slimming it up by just folding it in. And then I'm going to use some washi tape to secure the back so that it's just more flat and easier to work with before I decide to glue it down. And I'd like to use the Polaroid photo on it so that, because I really like that Polaroid photo and I like the fact that it can be a focal point of the layout. So it's the Polaroid plus it's on top of the bag, and that just makes it even more of a focal point. And that's kind of the bones of what I'm trying to accomplish here. So I think I've got a sense of where things are going to go and what space I have for some of the embellishments that I picked out. And at this point, it's about fitting things with the space that's available, and whether or not I decide to make things smaller or fit them to the space that I have, based on their natural size. It kind of all depends on just how I'm feeling. So at this point, I see this open space and I want this brown here because there's a little too much pink going on, and so we need a little neutral. So I'm using this border. It's like a lace border, and I really like it. I really like it a lot. And I love this pink plaid washi tape. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. So I'm just kind of sporadically putting the pinks in places that feel like they're not too much pink in one area, not too much brown in one area. And that's always the fun part about these kinds of layouts, is that I want them to be appealing, and I want it to be fun. I'm trying to have a good time here. And I love placing color in different places and trying different options. Sometimes I always just come back to where I started. And I decided I need a title here, so I'm going to use these Felicity Jane puffy alphas and do a title that says "By the Fire." So I have the Tim Holtz little alpha stickers, and I'll do the title there on top of that buffalo plaid ribbon. I really wish that I would have taken the alphas and scooched them over to the right just a tiny bit. It does kind of bug me that they're so close together, but I'm trying to not let things like that bug me, so I'm just rolling with it. Rolling. I am securing the photos down because at this point there is no other way for me to format all of the photos, so they have to live where they live, and then that way it's just a little easier for me to maneuver all of the embellishments around. Once the foundation is built, then it's just easier. I don't have to fuss with like the photos moving around and stuff, because that kind of thing actually does really bother me. So I'm working on what to do with this matchbox. I decided to take the matches out because I don't really need them in there. Also, I'm trying to make this book not very thick. So I'm not using thick embellishments. I'm really sticking to trying to keep things real thin and not using a lot of foam tape. But I've already used foam tape on this one, so I know that I do at least have a little flexibility. So I'm just actually, what I did was I just talked over what I did because it happened so fast. I put a couple of tickets inside and stapled them in there so that you can open and close it, and then it says, admit one. And it was kind of like a trip that Susanna and I took together. I mean, it was obviously for other people and for her retreat, but we did a lot of planning. We taught the workshops together, and we drove there together, and we stayed together. It was, so I wanted it to just kind of represent two of us and our tickets. I felt like something needed to be in that bag, so I found some scissors from the Girl Friday collection. I'm kind of figuring out where I might want to do some stamping. I like to place the stamps there and let them live there for a little while before I decide. And then I'm like okay with them, so then I go for it. And yeah, so I'm doing the stamping now. I've done a little bit more of the washi down at the top left or the bottom left. So it kind of evens it out and spreads it around. I still feel like there's something that needs to be inside of that bag. And so you'll see that I fuss with that for a little bit, but I'm going to do a little extra embellishment stamping here with these little heart clusters. I think I pull out a little bit more washi and do something else. I'm trying to yeah, I'm trying to find like little ways to fill in those gaps. When I do these grid collage layouts, I love filling in the little gaps with little baby things. So now I've got my cork and some wood veneer out, and I'm just trying to find some ways to put some neutrals in, and I'm doing some like all kinds of hearts. Just hearts are like such an easy thing. There's like no reason not to use hearts on a layout. If you are scrapbooking this layout, you love it, or you love the people or the event or something. So I'm giving you permission to use as many hearts as you want. I also have these little circled chipboard pieces from Felicity Jane from several kits ago, and felt like that was a good way to balance some things out. I'm really struggling here with I'm trying to put these flowers in, and I tried to do the clear sticker flower and it just blended into the bag too much. So what I end up doing is I end up taking the can of flowers that you see over there that I'm still not sold on, and I am going to end up putting those inside. I'm going to fussy cut them real close, but keep them on the clear sticker paper because it's just basically a white background. And then that way they kind of feel like they sit on top of something and they don't blend into the bag too much. And that is it. Here's some close-up shots of this really fun layout. I'm super, super happy with how this turned out. And I'm so glad that you were here, and thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions. Just leave them in the comments and I'll be sure to answer. Thank you guys again so much for watching. We'll talk soon. Bye.